Okay, one thing I did forget is that I wanted to put this gold ribbon right here because this is off just a little bit because I had to recut a smidge because it did not cut correctly. So I'm just going to take my tape. Remember, don't stretch it. Just lay it down. Everything hanging over, clip it off. I'm going to just touch this. Just so it doesn't go anywhere. Burnish it down nicely. Take it off. And then let's gonna lay it down. And I'm putting it just out of the area of the fold line. Just kind of following that fold line and staying just above it. There we go. There. Yes. Me likes it. Me likes it. That finishes that page off. Okay, guys, that was it. Thanks. Talk to you later. Okay, let me see if I can fold this. Now, you won't be seeing both of these pages at the same time unless you make it that way. But this page and this page are the two pages I'm going to do photo mats on. So I have chosen this because the blue is going to work with this. And I just think it'll really work nicely. But I was looking at placement. And of course, 4x6 photos to me is the most important. Now this way they are going to overlap just a little, but usually that's not a very important spot. You know, just usually it's not. If the most important spot is there, you better go and take some photo classes, photography classes. But I kind of like this here and this here. And then this will give me a 4x5 area. And this, I think, is more like a 4x3 area, which is probably going to be geared. Yeah, that's 2¼ by 4. So that's going to be a journal area or a decoration area, and as well as probably having a strip here of some decoration. Not too much. And again, we're looking for flat. We don't want anything that's going to pick on any of these items. So you want everything to be flat over here. All right. Because we've got all these things that it can get snagged on. So just flat stuff. But in order to get 4x6s, I'm going to do 4¼ by 6¼ So once they put the picture down, you know, all they're going to see is the outside edge. But until then, at least it's going to look pretty, right? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm hoping that between cutting this one and this one out, that I am going to have a picture piece, possibly more just like this, to put here and or here. And then I'll come up with something else. But I'm going to go ahead and cut my two 4¼ by 6¼ and put them just like this. And hopefully a 4x5 here, and then some decoration here. So I will bring you back when I have something interesting to show you instead of me cutting and gluing paper down. All right. Back in a minute. Okay, so one of the things that I want to use to embellish on this page, I've got a piece of the outside cover of a paper pack. So it's real thin, but it's a little stiffer than cardstock. And I stamp using this this stamp right here, which I've been trying to use for a while. And this is the Beautiful Story from the Finnabar Prima stamp set. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. I did put a little blow dryer on it. I don't think it was really necessary. But I used the Worn Lipstick Distressed Oxide ink on there, and it worked very nicely. So I'm going to glue down this piece. I'm trying to get a very thin layer all over because I don't want it to come up. But I'm really dragging my tip down on the paper just so I really kind of get a thin layer all the way around instead of goopy. And I'm going to go ahead and just place this down. I do want it to remain straight. There, that took very nicely. Okay, and then I'm just going to place. Now this is a smaller one of what we used for the cover. So just bringing that back into the book is always a good idea when you use, when you use something like that. I think I'm also going to just cut off. Oh, nice and straight. There we go. Just cut that off. And I'm going to place this on my, run it through my Vagabond. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm trying to come up with a little sign that, a little shape or something that I can put in between the photo mats here. And so this flower is here and it's here, so I think this is a good. I did originally take, which I also put this one on the back of. This is a piece from a paper pack. I think it's a Graphic 45 paper pack, but it really doesn't matter. And I always save these, and then you can make your own like little chipboard pieces. I did this one, and I like it. I used the Finnabar stamp set on there. I probably will use it on something else, but I didn't like it here. So I think that I will like it here. And it's just going to help kind of pull these two pages together. And then here I have, let's see, I think I have, I think I measured it as 2 1/8 by 3 1/8. And if I went over all this stuff with you before I'm sorry, I left and took care of some dog stuff. And 3 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8 right there. I think. No, that's way too short. Way too short. Well, I could make this a little tuck spot and put a tag here. That would probably work better. So then I could put this here, and let me just mark where I want to cut it. Find a pencil. I suppose I could leave that closed. And let's see, we're going to put that right about there. And I do want a little space of purple or plum, whatever you want to call this. And right there. So yeah, I think I will make this with a little bit of a pocket. And that will be nice to put a little tag on. That will be very nice to put a little tag on. Now, what about, is any of this usable here? Maybe just a piece of this blue paper. And I had that just a moment or two ago. Can I just grab it without pulling everything out? Yes, I can. Whoops, but I did pull something out. Okay. All right. So, yeah, and then we'll just use a snippet of this to make ourselves a little pocket or tuck spot, whatever we end up doing. In fact, let's see what size this is. I could use half of one of these. Do I want to do that though? Not really. I know I will use I need a little slip, a little strip. Here we go. This will work. And I'll get my edge punch out and do that. And probably just one. Yeah, that'll work. And then I just need a little piece of paper to cover this up. So let's just get this. All right, and then I'm going to, so I just cut it. And I'm going to cut this right where it sits. Let's see if I can get this without moving it. I'm going to line it up on a line right there and then move it over to where I want to cut it. There we go. And then we'll just cut this like this. And then put this right like that. There. And then you got a little bit of purple. I like it. Very good. Very good. Okay. So I'll glue that down. Let's go ahead and there we go. Okay, so I got my little tuck spot. Love it, love it. I'll edge this and place it right down here. And that right there. And then I can put a nice little tag in there and still not interfere too much with the other things that I have on this page. It will just lay nice and flat on this, and there's nothing right here, so yeah, perfect. Okay, and then this piece, let me get my scattered straw edge on there, and then come back with my milled lavender and maybe a little bit of pink on there instead of that heavy white. There. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And we'll ink this. And that will bring back this pattern that we've used several times. There we go. Alrighty. Cute. Cute. Cute stuff. Cute stuff. Love it. All right. Alrighty then. Okay, so I'm just going to glue all this down, and I've got to figure out what I'm going to put underneath my piece. I might just use the gold ribbon. I don't know yet. So I might try and pull something from over here. I don't know yet that either. So I'll be back in a second and show you what I end up with. So here is what I ended up with. And this piece, I'm just going to glue down the center so that you'll still be able to put pictures both here and here. So, and then I'm just centering this right about there. There we go. Okay, now you will still be able to get your 4x6 picture on there with a nice edge. And I love the combination of this scattered straw, and I've actually started using the Victorian velvet because my milled lavender is just drying out too much that I can't get it the way I like it. So I have been using the Victorian velvet a little bit more. But as you can see, you'll be able to get your pictures up underneath those. And I also did not glue this all the way down. Oh, looks like I glued a little too far down though. Let me see if I can, yeah, there we go. There. So now I can get my photo underneath both those items and still get a nice 4x6 in there. So perfect. Perfect. And I would love to be able to use one of these, but I think it's just a little too long, but it fits in there perfectly. But I do have a piece that cuts out a nice edge, but I can use it. I just think that's a little too long. Nah. So anyway, there is that page, and basically I'm going to do the same on the inside of the first page. All right, so basically this is exactly what I'm going to do on this one. And then let's see what I have room for. Okay, so I have some room. I have about 1/4 of an inch, I'd say, that I can use. This is page 1, page 2. So on page 2, I'd say I have approximately 1/4 of an inch. So I can play a little bit here. I'm even wondering if I can use this somewhere. And remember, I'm using this as a flap, so I might even put it under a piece of paper like this and have it where it will flap open, and you can put a picture here maybe, but it will stay closed like this and have a tag in it. That might be really cute. I might even put a closure, maybe. Yeah, let's see what I can come up with for a closure. I could possibly do a swing tab, but I don't want to do too much that's going to damage this. So we will see. We will work on that one. We will work on that one. But anyway, So I have a little bit of room on, this would be page 2. So on the back of page 2, I have a little bit of room to play, and I might use this. And this will hold a tag in here and a tag in here, and that will get the thickness. And if I put it right about there, it won't hang over there, but oh, it hangs over there. So we will leave it open as its main function, leaving it open and flipping it. So yeah, I think I might not end up using this one, but this one I know I'm going to use on here somewhere. Isn't that going to be beautiful? I just love that. Just love it. And then here we're going to do some kind of waterfall and pocket combo. So that one I'm still kind of working out in my head, but we're getting there, guys. I'm going to go ahead and do this this same setup on page 1 on the right side. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back and show you. And I think I'm going to kind of just mirror them with the same kind of setup, using the little pocket, using the 2 4x6s and the 4x5, and probably using this. It will just be in a slightly different color combination. And this is basically one page. This is a piece off of a different page, and this is a piece off of the printable kit. But I needed some flowers, even though these are roses, not exactly what was over here, but it does bring the colors and the little blues and the little blues. And this has the tulip. Oh, you can't see it. This has the tulip here that's in this bit over here. So I'm really liking. Not that you're going to see this together. What you're going to see is the back of page 2, which we will probably do this on the back of page 2. And I'm sorry I can't get it all in the film. So, but I think I will like that very much. But I'm just going to mirror image this on the back of page 1, and I will show you when I'm done, guys. Well, this is really coming together nicely, and I am so pleased. So pleased. Okay, so we are getting there. We are getting there. And I have my placeholder here is still in on this side. This black comes out because I will put a piece of something underneath that. And this one fell out, but it at least will allow me to slide something in, so there will be something there. And we still have the outside and inside of that flap, the outside and inside of that flap, and of course we have to cover the back. So still quite a bit to do, but boy, we are so close. So close, and I am just loving this. I also have to make all the tags. But look at how beautiful this is. Yes, I love it. I am loving it. And then we've got this page, got a little tuck spot here. Got our music paper with our envelope that's from the digital kit. And then we've got a tag to make for in here. I love my button placement and my flower. This is really cute. And the cuts. And of course, the, those things. And then there is just a nice place for good photos. And then we have this page. Got a nice little pocket here to put a couple of tags, and then good photo placement. And I will make template for the 4x5 that I did here. And then this is a template for these photos. Yes. And then we have this page and this page and this page. And the back. Oh my goodness gracious. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. And give me a comment and let me know what you think so far. This is totally different. Working a photo or mini album, whichever way you want to call this, more like a journal. Let me know what you think. I'm loving it. But I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Love you all. Take care. Be healthy. Be safe. Hey guys. All right. Welcome back to my channel. We have, I guess I did this page and didn't show it to you. So that was kind of a mirror image. I changed it up a little bit just because I used some pieces here to make this photo frame. And you're just going to lay it over the top. This is still open and this is open. So we'll make a little tag to go in there. And then, so that is my little pocket for that page because we want to keep that nice and flat to allow this one to really have some breathing room. Okay, so we've got that done. And there's that other one that I did. And so now we have these two and this. These two. Of course, these two and the sides. But we're going to right now go ahead and work on this back. Excuse me. And I did not get these perfectly set up so that they're even. So I have figured out a way, and I played a little bit without you guys. I am sorry. So I took this page and I wanted to tone it down a little bit because I had used so much of this metallic gilding paste on it that, you know, it was just like, wah, in my face. So I did tone it down a little bit. And I had this piece out of my scrap drawer that I had embossed on white. I started to color it this side and decided I liked this side better. So this side normally would glue down better because there's more flat surface than this side, but I think we'll be all right because of the way I'm going to finish off the ends. So I am going to go ahead and figure out where I want this. Now I do want this. I wonder if I want to take this around the corners. No. I think we'll just go right to the edge here. Yeah, we're just going to go right to that edge and cover that completely up. And same on this side. Sorry, my allergies have kicked in. It is pouring down rain outside. Let me make sure that's going to be a good spot. Yeah. Okay, let me get this cut. I've got to watch my clock on my camera because I am running short on camera space. So we're going to try and get through this. Okay, there. Oh, yeah, that's very good. Very good. Okay, I'm going to cut these two and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have finished one side. So you can see it there. And now we're going to do the same thing. And it comes across here. However, I'm not closing that part down until we do this part. All right, so we're gonna flip this over. So I'm at the bottom now, and I have made myself just a thin strip of the edging from the E-Cake Success edge die that I have. And I'm sorry, I don't know what that little sucker's called. And we're going to make sure, excuse me, we're going to make sure that these are exactly the same length. And actually this purple can be tiny, 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 tiny bit larger. Just so you make sure you get it all covered. So there's that, and then these two need to be the same length. So this has a little teeny bit that I can cut off. There we go. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do is glue this puppy down. My glue's been acting up a little bit. I think it's time for me to clean the point again. Oh, it seems to be, I threatened it. It seems to be working very nicely. Now you really want to make sure that you're getting all the edges down, the left and right side edges. The other ones are going to be down anyway, because on one side you're putting the paper, on the other side you're putting this down. Now these go down all the way to the bottom. All the way. Cover up completely. But leave no edge uncovered. And you want to try and make sure you've got it on nice and straight, although nobody is going to see this part. Make sure those edges are down really nicely, because we don't have any really leeway with my fix for the back. So I need to make sure that I'm covering that completely. Now I'm going to open up my hatch here. What do you call it? Flap. And I'm going to use my grid. I'm going to put some glue on what I'm going to use as the top. Let's see, I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to use my grid to make sure that I have everything straight and end to end. And that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Now let me make sure that I've got enough room here. I can pull this out just a smidge. Oops. Okay, this end out just a little bit more. And then I think we've got it. So these grids come in handy for all situations. All right. So now we're going to take some tape. Now this is 3/8. If you have a 1/4 and an 1/8, you know, whatever works best for you. You know, or whatever size trim you're going to put on this. You could even put just a nice bit of paper, a strip of paper on it. So that's totally your choice with what you're going to do with that. All right, and let's get this burnished well. Okay. And we're going to lay this down nice and even. And I could have cut this a little bit longer so that I could have had more to bring over. And I know some people put the score tape on the ribbon, and sometimes I do that because it's easier, and you're just going to fold it over because it's already on the ribbon. But this ribbon just does not seem to like, every time I do it, it makes it wrinkly and undulate differently than I want it to. All right. I'm going to try and glue the tips down. Get one of my little clampy things here. Well, there we go. And put this down and bring that over. Okay. I'm going to let that dry for a second. And then this is going to be centered right like that. So you'll have a little bit of that, yeah, this white paper. Embossed paper. There'll be a little bit of that showing. I think this is going to be really nice for the back cover. This was from one of the envelopes. This was from one of the envelopes. This is just out of my stash. And that's just one of these little pieces. So that came out. This is from one of the envelopes. This is from one of the tags. And I left it open in case I thought of something else to put under there or put in that area. So that way, oh, we're doing fine with time. That way, you know, I can tack it down later if I so desire. And I got some more of that sari silk in here. Excuse me. I like to make sure I have the stuff put in several different locations so that it's not just a one-off on the book. I mean, sometimes you can't help it, but I do like to do that. Okay, so let's see if this is... That's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to glue just the one side. I got a big glob right there. I'm going to have to get my finger into the glue. Okay, and we really want this to hold. All right, so now I'm going to slide the unglued side. Of course, get glue on it. Slide the unglued side underneath. Just get it started under there. Now push it under until you get a stop, and then look at the sides and make sure that you are lined up directly on the edges. Then push one more time and fold it over. Start at the center and move out. And I had glue on my finger, so it gets on the ribbon. You got to be careful. Don't do what I just did. Sometimes I can get it off with an eraser. I'm giving these ends really good pushing down because again, that is going to kind of be raw edges. That's another reason I really liked doing the ribbon, that I was going to wrap it around just to help it clean up the edges a little bit. And I have this one end here that little short piece of ribbon is just sticking out. And I knew I was going to have problems with that sucker. So I'm trying to get it back in there. All right. Okay, so let's give this a look-see. Yeah, you see, I'd like to see a little bit more of it. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit. Not much. Maybe about 1/4 of an inch. Let's see how that does. I'd like a little bit more, I think. Okay, about 1/8 of an inch. And then we should be there. So, of course, you can do it any way you want. All right, that can come down a little bit. Yeah, right about there. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Okay, so that is the bottom. So we're just going to glue this on. And then I'm going to have to move everything off my camera so that I can continue on with you guys. I'm trying to think. Make sure you get these edges really well again, because that is all we've got going on these ends. And I think we're going to work on the inside back section. Is that about even? It's really hard to tell. So if I get my little head in the camera there, I am sorry. But before this grabs, I want to make sure and I've got everything covered. And then it's even. Oh, I like it. Oh my goodness. All right. Rip that little piece right off of there. Gotta be careful with these mixed media pages. All right. Our back cover, other than, I think I probably will find something perfect to slide underneath there, but for right now, the back cover is done. Let me see if this eraser will get that glue off of there. Yeah, it gets it off a little bit, so I will work that off camera, but there's a little tip for you that sometimes on some of the ribbons. Okay, so I think now that we have these installed, we're ready to do these 3 pages. And of course, they're all going to have to look together, coordinated, and so it's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be interesting, and I have a couple ideas for something really cute, so I hope you hang with me. But right now, I gotta empty this camera up. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, so we are going to start on the left hand side, and I am going to use my little envelope that I made. Excuse me. And I'm going to use this paper. And I think, yeah, I think I'm going to use from this page over. So let's go ahead and get this cut where we want it. So right there, and measure over. Make your mark where you want to cut it. And let's cut that bad boy. Let's see, I am on and you can hear me. Yes, that's the way we like it. Okay, guys. So let's get a little bit of inking going on around here. Oops. And we'll drum this page up a little bit. Okay. I'm sorry I got the sniffles. Woo! Bad. Okay. I instead of milled lavender, I've got to use the Victorian Velvet because my milled lavender is dry as a bone. If you guys come up with a place that I can buy some milled lavender refill ink, let me know. I need it. And I'm going to bring a little bit of that purple down into this area. Get it nicely. Now I keep forgetting to use my brushes, but let's see what we end up with. You do have to re-ink a lot more. That's one thing that I have noticed by these brushes, because they don't hold as much ink. I do believe that they do give you a better blend, because I guess because the fibers are so much closer together and such. But I'm just not, I don't have that kind of time, and neither do you guys have a lot of time for me to try and build up color with those. So we're back to this. Okay. There we go. But I still have a nice set of blue across there. Now, for this is what I want for this page. And then this will flap out. Yeah, that's going to be really pretty. So I am going to go ahead and eyeball the center here. Let's see. Right about there. And then I'm just going to get my glue on here. Okay, and fold it over. Make sure it's on there nice and good. Okay. Now for the top and bottom of this, let me see. Do I like the rest of this? I think I do. I think I do. Let me get this cut. Be right back. Okay, so I cut the end off here, and then I took it and I cut it again and I edged it, and I'm just making sure that it is the same size. So I'm just cutting it off so that I'm dealing with the same size on the top and the bottom, and then touching up my, there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. All of a sudden my dog is wide awake. Hooch, of course. All right, so let's get these down. Do, 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 do. Okay. Leave yourself a nice edge. I tell you, distressing the edges on, especially on this paper, has really helped bring all these different colors that I've had together. So, and by using two, you really change it up, because in some spots it's, you know, it's just really, I don't know, it just kind of makes it. And I have to, this is just weird enough, far enough away, I guess, not weird. I don't know, some of you might think this is weird, and that's okay, because I know that this is kind of out there, and I'm not really, oh, I need to make sure this end is glued down. You don't really have to put a whole lot of glue on the inside of it because you're gluing that down, but you do want it to, you know, not be too loose. Make sure that these are as even as you can make them. There we go. I'll bring this down just a little bit. Get a little bit of wiggle room with your glue. Okay, dog, you're driving me nuts now. Okay, and so I'm gonna eyeball. I think that's about center, and that looks good on that end. Yeah, pretty page, pretty page. You know, I don't know that I am going to do anything with this because I want this to lay flat. And I am going to put a tag inside and a tag on top, I believe. And that's going to add a good bit of bulk. So I think this one, for right now, we're just going to leave it just like it is. So let's glue this down. I'm probably using more glue than you would have to unless you're using the watercolor paper. Unless you have done this like from start to finish with me and did some of your own watercolor paper, because this watercolor paper is morphed. I mean, it's, what do you call it? It has definitely gotten, oops, warped. That's the word I was looking for, not morphed. Oh my gosh. All right. Line it up on your edges. And let me make sure that oh yeah, that's very nice over there too. It seems like the edges on this paper just need an extra little bit of help. And I have to stop taking my supplies out to the living room. Yeah. Let's move this. I might come back and add something to this, but and then I'm going to have a tag. I'm going to have a tag here as well. So we might just leave this alone because this will make it busy enough. So anyway, there's that side. So I'm going to flip this around and we're going to do this side now. So, I had kind of done a little bit of thought process before I got on here, and I'm definitely going to use this. And I did come back with this. Now this paper was all yellow. So I took my stencil and I took the Heather Hills of this wax, metallic wax from Finnabar or Prima. And I took my Victorian Velvet and I rubbed a little bit of this. I got some ink on it and I rubbed a little bit of this, and then I did my stencil. So you can see some of this. I don't know if it's going to, yeah, some of this is shimmery, but yet it's not crazy shimmery because it's mixed with the ink. And I really like that. I mean, isn't that just awesome? Just awesome. And it toned this page to the point where I can put this down and I've got the colors pulled because I didn't really have a page that I like this with, so I made one. And again, making your own paper, baby. And then I'm going to use a section of this, and this is going to become a pocket. So let's get, because I want to make this a nice big pocket. So see, I don't have to cut this down at all. I think I cut this page down just a smidge so I get a purple edge or plum edge all the way around. So let me cut this down just a smidge. All right. Actually, you know, I do need to make it smaller. Let's see. Let's see. So if I made the pocket exactly this size, yeah, I can do that. Okay. Let's just make a mark and I'll tell you inch-wise, just so you know. Mine is 6 3/4. Okay, or that is 17.6. No, 17.1 centimeters. So that's where I'm going to cut. All right, put that away. And then I'm going to take some of these little strips and I am going to cut them the same length as my pocket. So there's that one. Okay. Okay. And then I'll get my scoreboard out. Slide this over a little bit so I've got some working space. And it's not quite an inch, but you know, that's okay. It's about 3/8 of an inch on both sides then. And that's perfectly fine. There's really no rule that says you have to have a 1/2 inch. No rule at all. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on. Let's give it a little bit of cut so that we don't see all of our inner workings. Okay. Line it right up with the edge of your paper. End to end. All right, there's that one. Just a simple pocket with a couple edges on it and a couple of, yeah, what do you call this thing? Oh, and here I forgot. Hey, guys, no. Mommy's filming. Okay. Hinge. Putting 2 hinges on it so that it's actually going to have full width for a nice tag. There we go. Good. All right. I'll bring this back in. And we're going to place this down right where we think. Actually, let's figure out what we're going to put down first. So we have this. I would like something. I don't know where that came from. Okay, that's not, I think that's supposed to be in my scraps for the, yeah, it is, for the, for that thing. Oh, for heaven's sakes, Lisa. I can't even think. I'm doing a scrap buster for, the Finish Up Friday thing, and that's where that piece of paper is supposed to come from. So, okay, I think I'm going to do the same process on this. So let me get that stencil out again, and then I can show you what I was doing. Okay, so here is my, where is my, oh, for heaven's sakes, really? What are you chewing on? Oh, you have your ball. I thought maybe he had stolen my, okay, I just had it. What did I do with it? Okay, it's not even funny anymore. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I ink that up, and then I'm just touching a bit of it. So if you can see, I have just a bit of it right here, and I'm just going to lay this across. Let's start it off on one side here. And as you move down, you're going to get lighter and lighter. So you can go with that. I like to go ahead and use what I've got on my and there's probably still some of that left, so I'm just going to ink up. Okay, so there, and you get just a little bit of that shiny coming through. I love it. So there is a new little play. Some of you might have already been doing it. I don't know. Now I do want to edge this. And of course, I need to cut this in half. So then I'll have to do this again on the center part of both. But it all has to get done, so okay, now I'm going to cut this in half. Hooch, get out of there. Hooch, that's Mommy's. That's Mommy's. Oh, he found his ball. I actually had to crawl underneath a bench out in our garage and move heaven and earth because he found it under there and he was fretting so bad it was not even funny. I'm crawling around on my hands and knees and all he could think is, I want my ball. And if I stopped looking and sat down, he was crawling all over me. Mommy, Mommy, get my ball. Oh my gosh, he is like raising a kid. He is going to be 8 months old on the 4th of March. It's the 28th of February today. I don't know when you're going to get to watch this, but I don't think I'm really terribly far behind. Probably about a month, maybe. Okay, so let's pull this back in. Let's put this here and see how we like this. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work. I think it'll be fine. I like the lighter yellow in there as well. Riley, I do. Okay, and I think this is a good size here for these pages. So I'm going to go ahead and get these glued down. Leave yourself a nice edge all the way around. I'm going to get a little bit of glue across. There we go. Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, and I think, yeah, let's do this side. Right, and I'm gonna switch this around here for myself. It has been raining all day, and it's, well, it started yesterday, so all day. And my dog has not had his walk up the mountain. And so he has been driving me nuts. My husband's been out in the shop. He just doesn't understand how much this dog requires attention-wise. Okay, so I'll get to that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get our pocket down. And I'm eyeballing the center. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and I do want to clip off. Oh, I did. Okay, that's right. I already did that. So let's get glue on. I think my dog is telling me he wants to go OUT. So I may have to pause here for a moment. No, that's Mummy's pulling on my microphone wire. Yes, I hear you. And let's make sure we get the bottom. Okay. So right about there. Down maybe just a little bit more. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. He's climbing all over me, guys. I'm sorry. Settle down. I'm coming. I got to get this glued down. Oh, boy. Trials and tribulations. Yeah, this is going to be perfect. Okay. All right, guys. I am going to take my doggy in the rain to go potty. Yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy to tell your mommy. Okay, I shall return, guys. Back in a moment. Get yours glued down. Let's be happy campers. All right, back in a moment.